Hello guys, this is Paula, and I'm here today to do a flip through of the Christmas story. I finished it. It's a 2-signature book, and it's the standard little golden book, and I will show you the spine. It is the Nativity. It has like a velveteen burgundy, maroon, whichever you want to call it. Has a hitch post on it. Okay, so let's get into the book. Okay, this book had been loved, and there was some writing in it, so I put a pocket here and a card that says this belongs to, of course, the Nativity. This is about the birth of Jesus, and I'm going to flip through. It has white lace, and it's got, I don't know if you can tell from here, but the tucks and pockets are glitter. I don't know if the light can do it justice or not. Okay. They're a maroon glitter, and then a lot of tags that I did make. Jesus is the reason for the season, and here is the Lamb of God. Because of him is what it says. And then there's fabric tabs throughout the book, and I did incorporate the story, which is in good condition. And the images are precious. I found a lot of vintage nativity pictures that I included, made tags out of. Used a curvy stitch on the coffee or the tea stain paper. And Away in the Manger out of a vintage book. And this is a nativity, a little child dreaming of the nativity, which is precious. Here's a nativity from around the world, children from around the world. And part of it's here, and then you'll see the other part, some poetry. The Star of Bethlehem. Here is a flip out pocket and journaling card with tea stain paper. And this is a vintage nativity strip as well. We did a video together, I believe yesterday, with this book, where we made this book. Has a pocket in the front with a tag with sheet music and text and so forth. And then I put journaling tags inside the pockets. These are hinged pockets, so they're not flat. Here's another tag. Made them kind of long to fit the book. And I put that down inside the bag. Whoops, I got to put my tag back in here. Let me get my tag back in. You know, sometimes you just have to fit them just perfect. Okay. Okay, and then there's a lot of vintage from the Idea books and from Better Homes and Gardens, different things like that. Images out of different nativities. This is part of a nativity that's very old. The first Noel with the nativity here. This came out of very small paperback music, book of Christmas music. More of the story. Ledger paper. Vintage nativity card. It says Christmas blessings, and this is it was very yellowed, and so I stitched it into the book, and it did fine. More of this story. How precious is that? Okay, some graph paper and lined paper. More tea stain paper. This is from a scrapbook kit called, it's based out of Luke 2. And this one says, Baby, born this day. And here is the center page. And it's really 2 pages. But I wanted this, "Oh come, let us adore him," in the book. And then there's beads that match the color scheme. Okay, and here is a glitter pocket. It says Silent Night, Holy Night, all is calm, all is bright. Then I stamped some nativities. Oh, come let us adore him is what that one says. Here's another nativity picture. I really loaded it with a lot of nativity. Here is the other part of this old card. I covered up the person's name. And then here's the ledger paper. And here is a pocket that we made in a video. Also, it's stitched down the middle and across the bottom. And it's glued in those same places. The ends are open. Then it has these pockets on the side. And then it has pockets on the top and bottom. So you can get 4 pockets there. Here's the other part of that nativity, the old nativity. And this is Oh Holy Night. This card is kind of leaning over. Let's move it. Oh Holy Night there. And this is where I had this card. It's just a sparkled nativity, and there's a stamped nativity inside. I just thought, you know, another place to journal. Here is a ribbon I made, or a ruffle I made, and I put a bow at the end. Turned out really good. Here's a side tuck with some vintage nativity where a child has made a little box and turned it into a nativity, and I just tied a bow out of the fabric, and that turned out cute. Here's the rest of the children around the world. Music sheet. Here is a a belly band, and an old vintage bingo card that I adorned with music sheet and a nativity and a gold doily and some sari silk. And that was fun. I don't think we did that in a video though. Okay, and here is the pocket. This is another vintage little baby Jesus picture that I found on the Lamb of God paper. Here's a side tuck with a little angel that children made out of a vintage book. So precious. And this says, Come Let Us Adore Him, with a card that has the letter J for Jesus. This was a fun book to make. Here's another belly band. Has a baby Jesus and another stamped image of a different nativity. There's We Three Kings. This is a vintage nativity. Some of the vintage paper I folded in certain ways in order for you to see the nativity. Here is a cookie nativity. A cross stitch of the nativity. Here's the other part of the shepherds coming to see baby Jesus. First Christmas night of all is the poem there. Here's another vintage Christmas card. It's very yellowed. It's trimmed in gold. I have a bunch of little children that are angels. We know that's true, right? Here's some more grid paper. And this is a wise man. Okay, this is a craft envelope, legal envelope that I made a pocket. And this is an old vintage tally card. And then I just put a poinsettia here on a tag. And we did this in a video as well. We decorated the flap. If you flip it up, it just has journaling paper with gold stars at the top. and a little side tuck, little tiny one with a little tiny tag as well. Okay, old school paper. Here's the center in this book. It's the same as the one before. And beads on the strings. Here is another pocket. This is December 25th. And another children made nativity. I just think those are precious. It's so precious. Okay, and then let me get on to the next page. This is the other side of the envelope. It has a circle mini tag there and the same journaling card with the gold stars, and the flap is covered in cardstock, and the same tag in this back pocket. Here's the second part of that vintage angel card. Here's the nativity from an old vintage book. This is also from like a Better Homes or one of those. Side tuck. There's some old vintage buttons that are the color scheme. This is a card or a tag that I made, I'm sorry, with sari silk and just part of the animals and a shepherd, which I liked. More vintage pages, vintage music. Here's another one of those pockets, exact same style pocket. It's glued down the middle along the bottom and stitched as well. Ledger card. Here's another pocket with a couple tags that I made with music, and it says Jesus Christ. And here just has angels blowing the trumpet. Another nativity. And here is a flip on the very back cover because there was some writing that I didn't like, so I thought it would look better with a flip with some journaling space underneath. This is the fabric on the spine with some sari silk stitched across. This has velvet, and then it has gold and velvet. So, I mean, a maroon ribbon here. So, that's the Christmas story, and it is completed. I'll have it in my Etsy shop in about within 24 hours if anyone's interested. I want to thank all of you for watching my channel and being supportive, and for the ones of you that leave comments of encouragement, I thank you. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love for you to be. If you could give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, that would be great, and I will see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye.